Judge, I'm here on that one, for the Nick.
Oh, Mrs. Wilburn, all right, you're late. It was at 10:40. You logged in about 10:46, so apparently I was behind the eight ball. I can't see you or hear, I can't see you.
There we go, Judge. You should be able to see me now.
All right. This is file 23863LT. It's entitled Village Manor Apartments versus Nick Hostetler. When nobody appeared at 10:40, I thought perhaps the matter had settled, but attorney Jen Wilburn is here. 83143. This is a non-payment of rent case, but we have service by attachment, so I can't do a default. What is the current arrearage?
Right now, Judge, outstanding rent is $1,856.50. Court costs are $172 for a total of $2,028.50.
$2,028.50. Because it is attachment service, I have to continue the matter. I will continue the matter until August 4th at 1:50. Does that work for you?
Yes, it does, Your Honor. Thank you.
He may not appear then either. I can't tell if he's still there. You believe he's still there? That's more than a 7-day adjournment, but today is, we usually do our landlord tenants on Mondays and Fridays. We're here's village manager also. Well, it's late to the party. Anyway, we'll address it on August 4th, which is 9 days from now, but that's not too bad, at 1:50.
Okay.
And then here's someone else, Samsung. Let's see if everybody else is late. All right, we've got the parties here. Our next matter that's scheduled is set for 1:50. We're 1 minute ahead of time. It's entitled Village Manor Apartments versus Nick Hostetler. There's several different ways to spell that name, but it's a common name in this part of the country. Carrie Zanin is here on behalf of the plaintiff. Last week we had Jen Welburn. The defendant did not appear last time. We had a hearing on July 25th. The defendant called after the hearing. He was late, and we gave him the date for today's hearing. The arrearage at that time was $1,856.50. Ms. Zanin, what's the current status?
It's the same amount, Judge.
Mr. Hostetler, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to stay there, or you plan to move?
No, I definitely wish to stay.
Judge, just for the record, the court cost I show is $172.
That's what we had last week for a total of $2,028.50.
Yes, Judge, exactly.
And I don't think I have a judgment.
I can email you one, Judge, this morning.
Yes, would you?
Yes.
We'll blame Jen for that. Mr. Hostetler, you owe $1,856.50, $172 for a total of $2,028.50. That's due within 10 days from today, which is August 14th. If you don't pay that amount, you are subject to being evicted. If you do move, you need to turn in the keys and give your forwarding address in writing within 4 days of your moving. Now, your manager can agree to work with you to try to get caught up on this. but I suggest that you contact them. But by the letter of the law, unless you pay that entire amount, you're subject to being evicted. Are you employed?
Not at the moment, no.
Do you have a plan to somehow pay this?
Yes, sir. My mom's going to be helping me out. I am currently looking for a job. It's hard to find a job right now. Also, the previous landlord, Amber, she never put down that my son, so he's in the household, but my rent never got corrected for it. And then also when I lost my previous job, they never, I gave her a letter for it stating that at the beginning of July 1st, I was no longer working for Auto Park Ford. And she still continued to charge me for that month, even though I gave her the letter stating that I didn't have a job for that month. I did give her the paperwork.
Well, it would have been very helpful if you'd showed up last week and raised all
I
these
know
issues.
I was having issues with the app. I was trying to do it on my computer and it wasn't working. And by the time I had called in for help, it was too late.
I would suggest that you talk to management. I won't sign any writ of eviction until we have further hearing on this, but that's the amount they gave last week. Miss Shannon, you have any input on that?
I do, Judge. This amount is only what's due through April, not July. He has not been charged rent since April, so they must have corrected it because Section 8 is paid for May, June, and July. And my manager is on as well if she wants to address anything. But for what I've been told, this doesn't include July. It's only through April.
All right, you've got a big arrearage. Apparently Section 8's paying your rent, but it's very difficult, A, to find a job, and B, to find an apartment. Although there's plenty of jobs. There are jobs all over the place, but a lot of the mobile home factories are laying off right now. But there isn't much housing, and there's certainly not much subsidized housing. So I suggest that you contact management, but as she indicated, this does not include, now the rent was $835 per month up and until Section 8 started to pay your rent. So I suggest that you go in and talk to the manager, but absent payment of this, you're subject to eviction on or after August 14th.
Okay.
And figures as above. Ms. Zanin, if you send me that judgment, I'll sign it. And as I indicated, it's very difficult to find a place to move to right now. You got kids, so they're not, they have their rules they have to follow as well. And so on these federally subsidized, they're under pretty strict guidelines of their own. So I will send you that judgment. I suggest you talk to management, and I won't do anything further unless we have further discussion of it.
So
All
Judge,
right.
I'll send you a judgment. Do you want me to put in further orders, no writ, and unless a hearing is held? Would you like that language on the
Yes,
judgment?
yes.
Okay, absolutely, Judge.
Because you didn't show up, so I didn't go through the whole set of rights. You're contesting the amount at issue. And they contend that these figures are correct. And I think they're
I may have my dates wrong too. I don't have the paper with me as I gave it to her, but I might have my dates wrong.
So I think her figures are correct, and this is how much you owe. All right.
Okay.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. All right. I hope you have a good rest of the Friday. I'm on the home stretch here. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Now, our next matter is, Mr. Hochstetler, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Very good. I'm going to call the case. This is Village Manor Apartments versus Nick Hochstetler and any other occupants at apartment D at certain address at Laura Court. This is actually the third hearing in this matter. We had a hearing on July 25th, and Jen Welburn was here at that time. She's here with us again today. And that was continued until August 4th, and Ms. Zarin was there at that time. The defendant indicated he had a plan to catch up on this. He was going to pay the rent, and he had a written date of August 14th, which was 10 days from that day. There were some issues, and I indicated I would not do a writ of eviction without having further hearing. So they filed for the writ. It was filed on August 25th. We set the matter for hearing today, which is longer than I would have liked, but I think we missed a couple of available court dates. The manager, Megan, is also here. Mr. Hochstetler, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
They want you to move. Ms. Welburn, what's the status here?
Your Honor, there has been no payment made since the last hearing. The balance still remains what the judgment amount was. Total $2,028.50. No additional rent has come due, as he is now.
Well, it has, because we're into September.
He's a zero renter though, so no additional has been added to that balance. That was from a past due when he was not a zero renter.
Okay. So, Mr. Hochstetler, theoretically, you should have been compelled to move on August 14th. Excuse me, August 14th. They didn't file it till the 25th, so you got 11 additional days, and then you just got 2 additional weeks. You haven't paid anything, and you're subject to being evicted. What's your position?
The only reason I haven't paid it, I do have money towards it. I just don't have the full balance. That is the only reason I haven't paid it yet.
The only thing that cures it is paying the entire amount.
Yes, that's why I haven't paid it yet, because I don't have the full balance. I do and am actively trying to find a job. I have a drug screen and a physical tomorrow for Clemens Meats over in Coldwater. I did get a job there. I've been trying to sell a lot of my tools from my previous job. I was a mechanic, and I've sold some. I do have some money from that. I have my second car posted up for sale. I am trying to get the rent paid. I definitely want to get it paid. I don't want to move out, and I am trying. And with this job, I definitely will be able to pay it very, very quickly.
Well, theoretically, I could enter an order saying you have to move today, immediately. Because of the efforts you were doing, I said I wouldn't do the writ of eviction until we had a hearing first. So the date for the writ was August 4th, and you had until August 14th to move or pay the rent. You didn't pay 1 cent. They waited 11 days till August 25th before they asked for the writ. And then I set it for a hearing, so it got an adjourned for an additional 17 days. And still nothing has been paid. Ms. Welburn, what's your position on behalf of the park?
Your Honor, they are requesting to proceed with the order of eviction at this time.
Keep your money because they want you to move. I'm not going to go into another rental period. I'm going to give you until September 30th to move. You got an additional 46 days And I will sign this writ. Effective date. Ten-one, that's Monday. Ten-two. Move out date 9/30. This was an unusual circumstance. I gave you an inordinate amount of additional time, and they simply want to go through with the eviction. So I ordered you had 10 days to pay. In some measure, they would have had 56 days from that day to ask for the writ of eviction. We will have actually waited 46 days. So you have until the end of the month, September 30th, to move. Excuse me, that can't be right. Today is September 11th. That's way too much time. The move out date is 9/18.
9/18. So I have a week.
Yes. Yep. You had 10 days, you had 11 days, you had 14 days. They don't want you to pay the rent, they want you to move. Although theoretically, it's a non-payment of rent case, so if you pay the entire amount of the rent, which now also includes September's rent, you can stay. Not the checks in the mail, I'm selling my car. They want you to go. But it's not a termination of tenancy case. It is a non-payment of rent case. So the arrearage is the same. $2,028.50 is how much you owe, not a partial payment, the entire payment. So if you can pay that by next Monday, you can stay. Otherwise, the sheriff's going to come put your stuff out in the street. You've been given more time than anyone this year by a long shot. And you haven't been able to get over the finish line, so you have 7 additional days. All right, good luck, sir. I'd stay in contact with Megan, your manager.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. The order says move out date 9/18. You sat there calmly while I screwed these dates up. You were probably saying, what?
Well,
But,
I'm not going to question you.
he maybe he would have paid it by the end of the month, but today's the 11th. I'm not going to give him an additional 20 days from today. He's had additional time to pay, so hopefully he can do something or move, but he doesn't sound like he's really prepared to do either one. All right, thank you. I'll see you next time.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good afternoon.
Okay, thank you.